Here's the address.
I'll get this to the team. Thank you for doing this.
Darling. They'll get to the girl. Sam, you saved a life. You both heard it all, didn't you? Yes. I need to get you out of here. We're going home. They said they'll update us as soon as they have word. Mila's maid is keeping tabs on everything to make sure we stay in the loop. Thanks, David. We'll talk soon. Can I? It'll burn for this. For all of this. We'll make sure of it. I'm sorry. If there's anything I can do. Okay. Let's go home. Let me get the door. What can I do, darling? What can help right now? Okay. Then let's sit. We don't have to talk if you don't want to. We don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Okay. I can't imagine what it must have been like to have to be on the other side of the glass through all that. Did you stay for all of it? I'm so sorry, darling. Well, I'm glad that having David there helped, but you should never have had to experience any of that, no matter who you had beside you to help. I'm not gonna insult the gravity of this by asking if you're okay. No one could be. But I will say, I thought that you'd be angrier. You'd have every right to it. There were so many times in that room when I was so furious, I thought my skin was gonna light on fire. And I can only imagine what that had to have been like from the other side. To be the one he was spitting all that hateful shit about. And not even be in the room. I can understand that. Cold hatred makes sense. Fury can only last so long. Eventually that fire burns out and it settles into something different. I know that feeling. No, I'm not okay either. Not at all. But this isn't about me, darling. It isn't. He wanted you isolated, sidelined, and he thought I could be another chess piece to get him there. That's the only reason why he dragged me into this in the first place. He just wanted another tool to hurt you. People like him have to make it about themselves. And the most vicious way to do that was to try to drive a wedge between us, to use your history like a weapon to separate us in every way he could manage, to push you out of the conversation, to try and make you minimize your own suffering in your mind by trying to put mine higher on the list. By virtue of having to be in the room with him, he doesn't get to do that. I played my part to get us what we needed, to get that girl to safety. But I'm nobody's pawn, and neither are you. Neither of us can help but be affected by this. But what he told me doesn't change us. What we have. Nothing he could say will change how I feel about you. And how I feel about you is that you are my absolute priority. Always. And you have just been subjected to something horrific. And whatever I can do to help you, I'm gonna do. I'm not the one who just had a history of trauma and abuse aired out against their will for hours for the sick amusement of a sadistic monster. Everything that he said reflects nothing on you, and everything on him. On the kind of person he is, on the way he treats people who get close to him, on the way he abused someone who had no way to know that there wasn't any good in that rotten heart of his, and who had the strength to get themselves free of him once they found out, and the courage to not just slip away quietly, but to fight to get justice for the other people that he'd harmed before them. What I heard in all his rambling was the story of a good, kind person with an open heart, trusting a man who promised to care about them, and him using that trust to hurt them, to distance them from the people they cared about, to prop himself up by forcing them down, and to hide his true nature and his crimes from them until he thought they were in deep enough with him that they'd go along with it. That is not a story that could ever make me think less of you. Just the opposite. Darling, you were never his thrall. He used that word because he thought, as a fellow vampire, it would affect me. And he was right. But I wasn't affected in the way he thinks. Calling someone a thrall makes them out to be something lesser, almost perverse. It's derogatory, mocking people who enjoy being fed on or tranced. He thought it would change the way I see you. He knew I'd never bitten you, so what better way to dig in the knife than to imply that that's all you'd ever want me for? It's bullshit. And I saw through it for what it really was the moment he said it. You are nobody's thrall, least of all his. Oh, darling, I got you. No, don't you apologize. You feel everything you need to feel right now. I've got you. Tears aren't stupid, darling. They're human. You don't have to hold back any part of yourself with me. You've been so strong for so long. Letting yourself feel it now doesn't mean that strength is given out. It takes a whole other kind of strength to let yourself feel that. I'm not going anywhere. What is? What's humiliating? Crying? Darling, I told you. Oh. Hey. Hey, look at me. Please. I know. I know you do. There is nothing wrong with wanting those things. There's nothing wrong with asking for those things. I have never been upset when you asked me to do it, even though I haven't been able to follow through. When things like that are done by people who are on the same page, who have mutual respect and care and intentions, there is absolutely nothing wrong with it. You are not broken or gross for wanting things like that. Don't think that. And you're not wrong for pursuing them, then or now. You're not a bad person for having enjoyed that aspect of being with him. He abused the trust you put in him by sharing that with him. He made a mockery of that trust, and that's on him, not on you. I know that I haven't been able to be that for you yet. And I've said it every time, but I'm saying it again. Please believe me when I tell you that it's not, because I think it's wrong to want things like that, or that I don't trust you with something like that, because those things couldn't be farther from the truth. I want to be able to give you that, and I hope that in the future I can. It's just gonna take time. And that's not on you. That's on me. And my past. And my responses to that past. I haven't had a good relationship with biting before or after turning. You know what Alexis was like with it. You and I have talked through that before. But my struggles with it have nothing to do with judgment. I don't judge you for wanting that. I would never think less of you for enjoying that sort of thing. Quinn thought that that could be another thing to hurt you with tonight, to isolate you from the people who love you. He was pulling out every dirty trick he could think of, and that was the lowest blow he could find. He had no right to do that. And I can understand feeling embarrassed or ashamed for having something that intimate flaunted by him in that way, but you have nothing to be ashamed of. Every word that came out of his mouth showed his faults, not yours. Come here. I love you. my heart, darling. I'm so fucking sorry you had to go through this. If I could make some kind of shield to keep you safe from all this hateful bullshit, I would. In an instant. You deserve so much better than the hand life's dealt you. And I'm gonna do everything I can to change that. Starting with making sure that that bastard fries for everything he's done. So you can finally have a full life again. So the shadow of him can't ever hang over all of us again. I won't let you. Who is it?
Hey, is Sam there too?
I'm here. You're on speakerphone.
The department teams got to the address Quinn gave Sam. They found a girl, yes. But she'd already been dead for 2 days. Quinn drained her before he was ever caught. The pictures and videos of her on his phone must have been from right before he drained her. I'm so sorry. There never was a life at risk. He made that up. Apparently just to get you and Sam there. I don't know. Just to act out one last sick fantasy. I don't know. They say he's gone quiet again.
So that was all for nothing. All that pain for nothing.
Not nothing. Closure for that girl's family, for one. She'd been missing for a week with no leads. It's not much comfort, but it's something for them to at least know what happened. But on top of that, it's indisputable evidence. From what was on his phone and at that location and all the evidence of everything he's done before, they have enough to bury this guy. William and I are using all our pull to get this expedited. And if I understand vampiric laws correctly, his infringements on the Solaire house are enough to sign his death warrant.
They are. And William will make sure it happens. He's wanted Quinn dead since that night with the newborns.
Good. I can't think of a kinder son of a bitch to be beheaded. We're gonna get this done as fast as we can. But there's something else that's gonna happen before he goes. You, in that room, with him bound to that chair. No cameras, no witnesses, no interference. Only requirement is that there's enough of him left at the end of it to sit in that courtroom while they read him his sentence. Which is already more than he deserves, but I'm not letting them try to throw you in prison for taking out the trash before they can pull their heads out of their asses enough to do it themselves. Beyond that, he'll be yours. It's taking a lot of pull, but Will's got deep pockets and I've got a lot of favors to cash in. We've just about got it. I'll get you in there. Soon. I promise promise you that. I'll keep you posted if I hear anything more in the meantime.
Thank you, David.
I'll talk to you both soon. If there's anything I can do, let me know.
They'll pull it off. They'll get you in there where you should have been from the start of this. That freak thinks he came out on top with all this. Thinks he got to dig in the knife one last time. No. You get the last word, not him. He signed his own death sentence with that stunt. The department might have reservations about capital punishment, but vampiric laws don't. And he's subject to them. Now that he's caught, as soon as the department passes whatever sentence they decide on him, vampiric jurisdiction takes over to judge him again. And with that evidence, the verdict's been decided before he even steps in the room. He might have stalled for time with the lie about the girl, but it's over. He's done. And I imagine he knew it. Which is exactly why he decided to at least get one last dig in. But I don't think he counted on an entire vampiric house and a wolf pack coming down on him to make sure the one thing he can't fucking stand the thought of comes true. Having to finally face you with all his tricks used up. It's time he felt some of that misery he loves to dish out so much. And I can't wait to watch you give it to him.